I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Malone will inbound. Fisher's in the game. Walton, O'Neal, and of course Bryant.
And everyone is paying attention to Kobe Bryant.
They start with Shaq. He gives it to Walton. Here comes Kobe. Less than 5 from way outside. Got it! Oh, man! With 2.1.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait. Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
Man, did the NBA actually have a playoff start this weekend? I could have sworn that's what I saw. Well, good morning. This is the Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I'm one half of that team, Cole Johnson. The other half is convalescing, still as we speak. Spoke to Brian over the weekend. He's doing well. He sends his greetings to everybody. But I am not alone today. In fact, each and every Monday, I am with the man who is part of Stuck in My Mind podcast. That is one Mr. Wise El Jefe. How you doing, sir?
I am doing well, brother. I can't complain, man. It's been a good weekend. I hope everyone had a great Easter.
Oh, man, I did too. I had a wonderful Easter. I know that the NBA had a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, a couple of games were good, and then there was a couple of games that they got blown out. But other than that,
well, to me, that's expected. I expect those. So you had those wonderful games. We'll touch on each and every one of them momentarily. We'll touch a little bit on the Major League Baseball, just a little bit on it.
Just a little bit. Good morning, Sick Diggy.
Just a little bit. And I have an NFL thing I have to touch on too, as well. Well, Sick, good morning to you, sir. Man, look, I can't speak for Wise, but I think he said his was fine. My Easter Sunday was great. I spent it with my wife and mother-in-law, so I really can't complain, my man.
You too?
I hope yours as
you
well.
too. I spent mine with my wife and mother-in-law too.
Wow. Wow, that's kind of cool. I can't complain. Great time was had by all. I hope yours was fine too, Sick. And if you want to be just like Sick and comment on whatever we talk about here, all you have to do is go to youtube.com. We are live, Live on youtube.com. And just type in Snowman in the Morning 50. That's Snowman in the Morning 50. Snowman in the Morning 50. And you could be just as interactive as Sick, as my man Andrew, as my girl Trish, as
Big Ben, definitely
as Ben, as the Latine crew, of course, as of one of our contributors, Sam of Shady Sports. We want to have the community grow even more than it already has, because we have a wonderful interactive community. We love them all.
Definitely.
All right, so the weekend, NBA wise, of course, in the first round, I expect a couple of duds, and we got the duds that I thought we was going to get. And we have some really good games. But before I touch on any of the games, what really made me laugh was the fact that we had people who still was feeling in the doldrums. They were feeling they were missing out. They felt as though things just weren't right because, quote, the playoffs suck because LeBron isn't in it.
Shit, I'm celebrating that LeBron isn't in it.
Close quote.
Listen, I get tired of hearing about LeBron, man. Listen, it's different now. I ain't got to worry about LeBron winning no chip, none of that. I just focus on the playoffs. So let them Bronsexuals have their moment to cry. They're going to continue to cry anyway. And they're never going to be happy.
No, you're right. You're right. But I had to begin this morning in such a fashion. And I think I have something to send. So bear with me, sir. Email Bronsexuals. CC, fake Lakers fan. BCC, NBA fans for casual people. Subjective email, there's a lot of talent to enjoy right now. Body of email. So you all really are stuck in your brain that basketball is nothing unless you have this figure who wears number 6 and wore number 23 who plays in the postseason. I don't get it. I don't understand it. You're dealing with a guy who now is an elder statesman. You have this person who simply can't go any longer. And I will interrupt the email that I'm sending. So let me stop right there. And let me introduce properly my partner, the man who is the founder of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Brian Snow, how are you doing this morning, man?
I'm feeling good. I've been
Good.
tired since I've been home, but I've been good. Got a good
Sound
night's
good, bro.
sleep.
Nice.
Brother Wise, I
Sound
love
real
you.
good, man. I love you too, man. You sounding good, though. I'm glad, man. I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Can't wait till you come back and it could be a trio.
Man, look, it's gonna be epic when I do return. I see Sick Diggy in the chat already.
That's right. That's
I did
right.
a
Always
I did a
repping.
charity stream last night. I'm probably gonna do one next Sunday, thanks to my buddy Charles Faulkner.
Awesome.
Okay, who's in the email and why? Because I gotta weigh in really quick.
So
Bronsexuals.
it's so funny. It's so funny that you actually weigh in here. The email is addressed to Bronsexuals, fake Lakers fan, and casual NBA fan, and basically it is from the take of the playoffs suck because LeBron isn't in it.
Who the fuck told that lie?
So it's funny that you join here because it must have been. I think through osmosis, Brian must have heard me say Bronsexuals, so he had to join.
Okay, listen. These
brother.
Bronsexuals don't stop. We talked about this, Cole, all last summer when they made the stupid signings that they did. And now they want to say, these Bronsexuals want to say that the NBA playoffs are going to suck without LeBron in it. Man, please. These are going to be the best. Look, these are going to be the best playoffs since, I don't know, 2019. Oh, yeah, LeBron wasn't there either.
This is what I don't really get. So you mean the NBA sun rises and sets with LeBron. The NBA landscape means nothing unless LeBron is in it. Everything has to churn because of this guy. I don't understand it. And it just frustrates me. Oh, and here's what Six says. Because of the Bronsexuals crying out loud, Kleenex has seen their profits go up.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, Sick also said, Cole, elder statesman? Don't you mean stubborn and senile?
I'll say that aloud. Stubborn, senile, selfish, and stupid.
Oh my gosh. And Cool, another one of our brothers, Cool McCain. Good morning to you, brother. Oh my gosh. Sick also says, Ashley Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson is in Marvin Gaye mode. Hears and sees everything through the grapevine. Whew.
You know what? We talked Marvin Gaye last night during my donation stream, and do y'all remember the national anthem he did at the Forum in '83?
One of the best renditions of it ever. Yes, I do remember.
Can we have that before every playoff game this year, just to piss Bronsexuals off, just to bring creativity back to the NBA playoffs? Can we have that?
Oh man!
Because look, Crypto.com arena is officially closed for the summer. Thank God for that. Mm-hmm. The Lakers are done. The Clippers are fried.
I fried.
The Brooklyn Mess let a game get away.
Oh, we'll talk about that next. So,
Oh, good. Back to the email. I'll add this. Bronsexuals, get a life. Wait a minute. That's asking too much. I'm sorry.
wow.
Burn.
Mm.
Burn.
See
That
Oh, okay, fine. I'm just simply gonna roast these fools.
you
It is utterly pathetic that you don't give any other player any type of room to expand your palate. It has to always be tunnel vision, like you're some sort of greyhound running and chasing a plastic carrot, like a rabbit or something. It's ridiculous how you all are. I mean, it's almost fellatio inducing that you all are this way, and it's unfortunate. No, I take it back. It's fortunate for us. It's unfortunate for you that you want to be as narrow-minded as you are.
That's an
Because-
understatement.
But again, everybody knew this was gonna happen. Every analyst, everybody said, what were they thinking when they made this AARP lineup? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand why they're so surprised that they didn't make the playoffs. It didn't surprise me. It didn't surprise every other analyst in the world because they knew that this Laker team was old.
But see, here's the thing, though, and these Bronsexuals and fake Laker fan and the casual NBA fan, this is how they were thinking. They were thinking back in August, we have these big names.
July. Fuck August, July.
Well, no. Well, when it was official that Westbrook was on the team.
Okay, yeah, August. Good call.
But you're correct. They were probably thinking this way in June and July too. But in August, when everything seemed to be on point, everything seemed to be right for Lakers Nation, everybody and their mama was saying they're going to win the championship, not make the playoffs, not be a number one seed, not be the Western Conference champs. No, be the world champs because they got the AARP lineup, because they got Rondo and Howard and Westbrook. Because remember, it was those three along with LeBron, AD, and Carmelo that were in a photo op.
And the funny thing is, at least Rondo made the play.
Yes. Rondo made the playing game. So
Rondo made the play.
See, Rondo got there and had the opportunity to stick his tongue out at his former teammates. Okay.
Yeah.
Rondo got there.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a huge difference. Six says, good morning to you, Cool, and he hopes your Easter was well. I hope your Easter was well too, sir. Sick also says, great thinking. The NBA needs to gain back their soul.
The NBA lost its soul when LeBron showed up.
I was going to say, that sounds like a statement I can actually hear Brian actually utter. That it needs to gain back their soul, almost verbatim.
I've said that for years.
Yeah, I know you've said that for years. Cool says, I have an ongoing debate with a Wintsexual, and maybe we'll do a take, not today, not this week, but sometime soon, probably leading into the draft, with a Wintsexual who believes that Chris Paul is the point god. He is not even the best CP3. How can you be the point god when you have never been the best point guard in your own era? That's a wonderful question, Cool. But you go ahead.
Somebody say a right cross across the chin of casual NBA fan with that question.
I would think it would be. But Cool, here's the thing, man. They say this type of stuff and they believe it when they have, and we'll talk, of course, we'll touch on this game when Paul has a game like he had last night. When when he shows that he actually can take over games, people think, well, this is the point god. And like, hold your horses now. This is only one game. Just one game. One game.
Exactly. Wait till Phoenix goes to New Orleans.
Right.
And they're gonna blow the roof off that joint for that noise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Six says the NBA playoffs back in '94 was still great and competitive when Jordan was retired the first time. You have forever endeared me to you in my heart, bro.
Competitive. Okay? Competitive.
Yes, 94 has a special place in my heart. And not just because the Rockets won a championship, the whole playoffs. The whole
The
playoffs.
entire playoff set.
Yeah.
When the seeds were
94
one
playoff
through when
gives
when
me
the seeds
nightmares.
were 1 through 8 and the first
Mhm.
round was 5 games and not 7. You
Right.
want the soul of the NBA to come back? Go back to that. When the
Mhm.
first round was 5 games. You
And
had
people-
the winner go home in the 5th game. And if
Yeah.
you didn't, that's
You're
your
out.
summer.
And and along with it, people weren't saying, you had people who were like, man, it'd be great if Jordan were here, but it was more along the lines of, okay, Jordan may not be here, but look at this action. It seems to be pretty cool, and it
Exactly.
was. And it was.
This one's for Wise. Can we pack the Brooklyn mess up and send them back to New Jersey?
Hey, I have no problem with that.
Can we just kick them out?
But
Because
sick, man. You
I
ain't had
asked
this.
Wise this question. I asked Wise this question in a separate interview, and now I can put this on the air. What have the Nets done since they got to Brooklyn? Not a bleeping thing.
But I've discussed this. It's like, yes, I am a Brooklyn boy,
Yeah.
but I am a diehard Knicks fan. It didn't matter that the Nets came to Brooklyn. I'm saying I bleed blue and orange.
Yep.
That's just me. And sick, thank you for bringing back one of those painful memories for me. Thank you.
Well, it was good until
It was a good series. No, it was a good
was
series.
good till-
It was a good series. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, it was
But
good
it
until
was
the end of game
heartbreaking
six
for
you.
me.
Yeah.
It was heartbreaking for me, not for you.
No.
But either
But
way,
it was a hell of a, but for both of you, it was a hell of a series.
no, I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm
No,
just
it
saying it was
was.
heartbreaking for me.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
Right.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you.
But it was series like that, you know?
Hold on one second.
I mean-
hold on 1 second. I got something to say. Sick,
Shoot.
man. Why you just hurting me today, man? Now you bringing up the '99 playoffs. You just wanna make me cry on the air today.
All right. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. Cool says to Sick, I hope you had a great Easter, man, and everyone else as well. Thank you, brother. I hope you.
I hope everyone's Easter was great.
Yeah.
My niece gave me a card, gave me a little drawing that says "Never Give Up," and later this week I'll show you guys that card. But it's
Okay.
it's on my dresser right now. But yeah,
That's awesome.
it's been something since I've been home and listening to you guys handle business, and I love every minute of it. I love you guys, the folks in the chat. Love you too.
Mhm.
And each day I'm getting stronger. I'm getting better.
Yeah, we could definitely hear it. We could definitely hear it. Oh, and for those who are basically listening but not watching, this is the comment that Wise was addressing to Sick. Who remembers the '99 playoffs? Jordan was retired a second time, and it was competitive. And for those who don't know, Wise is a Knicks fan, and the Knicks also went to the '99 NBA Finals
Yes, and lost to the Spurs. Yes.
and lost to the Spurs.
And
Yes.
lost in the Alamo Dome twice.
But Sick, you have to be proud of that team because that was the first number 8 seed that went to the finals.
Yes, I was proud. No, listen, don't get it twisted. I did not expect them to be there. But
Right.
Spree, Houston, Camby, they all came and they played. I was proud of that team because we weren't
Yeah.
expected to be that
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
But it's just like just twisting the knife, man. It just hurts.
Then I better not say anything about the memories I have in mind. So I'm gonna be nice.
Yes, please be nice. Please be nice. Cool.
I'm
cool.
gonna be nice.
Cool. You would switch on Bobby Lashley too if you had a giant like almost.
Cool asked. Why? So I want to ask, why you turned on Bobby Lashley, bro? People's been saying that Wise looks like MVP.
MVP, yeah.
You know what? I have a clip that I hope to get to it this week, but if I don't have the ability, I'll get to it next week. That I'm going to add, which was LJ's 4-point play, but the difference is it's not Tom Hammond's call from NBC. It's Marv Albert's call.
Ooh.
I happen to have that gem, and I'm gonna add it. When I get the strength, my strength allows me to. But yeah, I have that. I found it clearly by accident. Because all the other clips of LJ's 4-point play have Tom Hammond's call from NBC.
Right.
I just happened to find that one with Marv Albert.
Which he did. Tom Hammond did fine, but yes, I agree.
Marv Albert
was the voice of the Knicks.
Marv Albert made that call. Listen, Marv Albert made that call in 1999.
And I've heard it. I've heard the call, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No question. Like you said, Wise. Yeah. Marv Albert was the voice of the Knicks for, good Lord,
many years.
Many years.
4 decades.
Until he decides he want to bite people.
Yeah.
And if you wonder why I led off this show with this email about Bronsexuals and fake Lakers fan feeling ill about the fact that LeBron is not in the playoffs and Lakers in the playoffs, or basically about to say this, or saying things such as this playoff should have an asterisk from it because the Lakers were injured, and if they were healthy, they actually would be in the playoffs and win stuff. It's because of this. You remember this. Back in August, when LeBron dropped that Twitter tweet, keep talking about my squad, our personal agents, the way he plays, he stays injured, we're past our prime in this league, etc., etc., etc. Do me one favor, please, and I mean please, keep that same narrative energy when it begins. That's all I ask. Hashtag
and we
thank
are
you, crown emoji.
And we are, King James. We are definitely going to keep going.
Hey, King James, riddle me this. What do you do when the energy is up to about 5 octaves? Because your team didn't make the playoffs. Because your team did suffer. Because, you may have had injuries. Everybody wants to blame. All Laker Nation, fake and real, want to blame injuries for the reason the Lakers not making the playoffs. Riddle me this. The Memphis Grizzlies went through the remainder of the season without John Morant, and they had the number 2 record in the NBA. The Golden State Warriors went the rest of their season without Stephen Curry, and they had the number 3 record in the NBA.
Well,
and Clay didn't come to like what, after
January,
February?
No. Look, it was after All-Star break, I think.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's right. After the All-Star break.
And they didn't have Clay for most of the year.
And by the way, the Phoenix Suns went through a month and a half without Chris Paul, and had the best record in the NBA.
Absolutely.
So, miss me with the injury excuse.
And it's not to mention the Bucks, the Bulls.
The Bucks didn't have Brook Lopez for most of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
And still did what they did.
Yeah.
The Bulls were beat up the second half of the year.
Yeah.
And they're in.
Lonzo's not in.
So
it's a lot. Listen, that's part of the game. Injuries.
But
when you have Mr. Glass, who's I don't remember when's the last time he played probably 60 games. Maybe it doesn't matter, but he hasn't played anything. He's always injured. This year he played 43 games, 45 games, whatever
40,
it was.
I think it was 40. It was 45.
45 games.
Yeah.
And what? When he plays, yes, he is one of the most dominant big men in the game. But that's the question. That's the key. When he's healthy. When is he healthy?
Stay on the floor.
When is he ever healthy?
Oh yeah, and Lakers fan, there was a question that was asked. So you mean to tell me you have the nerve to put Jokic over Davis as a better big man? And I said yes.
Yes. Because Jokic is always on the floor.
Because we're guaranteed Davis is going to miss some time.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the basic rule? Your best ability is availability.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your best ability is availability. And to the Laker fan that said you put Jokic over Davis, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. At least Jokic shows up.
Listen,
at least Jokic plays.
I would start a franchise with Jokic over Davis because
easily
Jokic is going to give me over 70 games a season.
Yes, you can give me over 7 games a season, and it'll give you the same, if not better, output anyway. So yes.
Yes,
Easily.
because
Easily.
he can give you a triple double any night.
Any night.
In a heartbeat, I'd
Any
start
night
a
he give you a
franchise with
triple-double.
Nikola Jokic.
Any night. So definitely.
You know,
Cool
and
gives-
it should. They made the announcement, and I'll depart with this. They made the announcement of they're starting to make the announcements of who's the candidates for the MVP.
Right.
You know what? I hate to say this, and I said this when the trade happened, but Joel Embiid's MVP candidacy got blown to smithereens.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. So you now are starting to hear people try to ramp that up in the media saying, well,
Yep.
Embiid needs to have this award. I'm like, okay.
No, he doesn't. No, he
okay.
doesn't.
That's how you
Because
feel.
James Harden took it away from him.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that the last month of games that they played, Embiid could have cooked, but Harden slumping messed all that up, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
before you do go, I think I will make you smile when I do this, sir. So to Bronsexuals and Lakers fan, fake Lakers fan and casual NBA fan who want to write off the 2022 playoffs, who think that the playoffs suck because the Lakers aren't in it, and to those who believe that Joel Embiid is the best player this year in the NBA, well, I just have one thing to say about that.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Listen.
That made my Monday.
I figured it.
That made my Monday. I love it.
I figured it would.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I'm going to get some breakfast and then I'm heading back to bed. I'm resting and sleeping as much as I possibly can because, to borrow Sick Diggy's point, once I do come back, I will play the Shaft theme.
Oh yes, that's a must.
That's a must.
That's a must.
There are 3 songs I will play: the Shaft theme, one of my favorite songs, "Bang Your Head" by Quiet Riot, and "Bang on the Drum" by Todd Rundgren.
Oh man, that I haven't heard that song in a minute.
I'm going way back, but yeah, let me get some food in me and do what my wife says, and that's like keep a constant flow of light calories going and get some water and everything. But thank you guys. I love you. I love you, Cole. I love you, Wise, and I love you, Chat. And old Snowman will be back soon, and I'll make sure I'm back at full strength when it happens.
Well, man, we love you too, bro. Just keep doing what you're doing. You sound good now, man. And
Sounding good, yeah. You sound hella good, bro.
Yeah, we wouldn't think that you were 2 weeks removed from having cancer be removed from you, but you were proof, man, that tough times don't last, but tough people do. And you are one of the toughest, my man, and we love and appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right, brother.
One half of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, Brian Snow, join us for a little bit, giving his 2 cents on the Oh, that's right. I have to end this email. So let me do it thusly. Sincerely, Cole Johnson. On Brian Snow's behalf, Cole Sports, Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, part of Snowman Digital Media, and Cole Sports, and Cole Media.
Before we continue,
shoot.
All right. So I want to give a rest in peace to K Slade, one of the
oh yeah, man,
one of the guys who kept the culture alive. He was always repping hip hop, and he's definitely going to be missed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I have a dedication later too. It's a personal one. All right. Before we continue to the next segment, Six says, why is it heavy? Come on now. You know better than that. As painful as it was, there's a point that needed to be made. Talking about the 94 and 99 Knicks or seasons in the playoffs. Cool says, yeah, that tweet that LeBron dropped in August, that didn't age well. But we kept the same energy. You darn right we did. And we're going to continue to keep it. Six says, forget the Coke. These Bronsexuals are Diet Pepsi. Give these Bronsexuals Diet Pepsi. Cool says, Denver Nuggets went without Jamal Murray the entire season. And MPJ missed all but 9 games. Yes, people don't talk about the loss of Michael Porter Jr. on that team too. They do mention Jamal Murray, but they never mention him. They never mention MPJ. Never. But yes, Jokic had to play without both of them for 73 games. And look where they are.
Yep.
Ben and Ivan and all those folks at the BS3 that we're on, thanks to them on Roku. Good morning to you all as well. Thank you, sir. And Brian, BS3, says it was great to hear from you. And I echo those same sentiments. It was great to hear from you too. 6 says, Nikola Jokic was born and raised in Western Serbia post the Yugoslavia collapse in war. He's been tough since he was little. Man, I was fearing for Marcus Morris's life when he and his brother went Markeith wanted to call for some action. I'm like, oh Lord. The Jokic brothers was like, we bought that action, boss. We would shut all of this down. We did not hear hide nor hair nor peep from the Morris brothers after that. No. Yeah. People who think that Jokic is soft, you play him for stupid.
All right, so honestly, after that, I wasn't really upset with him after that play because Morris did hit him first, man.
I wasn't either.
People want to get upset. Say, he should have, but he got hit first. Like the foul that Morris hit him with, it wasn't necessary either.
No,
and I actually thought he was kind of playing when he hit the ground because I didn't think he hit him that hard.
Yeah, I did too. I'm like, really? Now I know he gave you a good shove, you'd feel it, but no, not to the point where you just fly across the court. No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. 6 says, what a glass man's excuse. Well, his excuse is, if we are all healthy, we would be in the playoffs. That came out of Anthony Davis's mouth.
Dude, you're never healthy. So
he's only played 75 games once, and he played 73 games another season. I don't think he has played any more than 60 the rest of his career as an NBA player. And both BS3 Network and Sig Dicky passes along the RIP K Slay sentiments as well. And I totally agree with that. All right, I think it is time for a reset. We're going to do a quick reset. A quick one.
In case you Bronsexuals don't know by now, LeBron has never been the face of the NBA, although people want to claim he's the face of the NBA. When there's a fellow in Oakland, California that kind of snatched the mantle from Kobe by hitting a 3 in his face, what impact has LeBron James had on the NBA? I'll answer that for you. Nothing.
Jabroni, Jabroni.
Welcome back to Snowman in the Morning.
Two voices you just heard are Brian Snow and his lovely wife, Dr. K, taking good care of my man who is convalescing from cancer surgery. 2 weeks removed, and he looks like he is well on his way back, and he's going to be stronger than ever. I'm so happy to see that and hear that. Joining me this morning, as he does every Monday morning, is one Mr. Wise, that's with a Z, not an S, El Jefe.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to have you on board, man.
And it's always a pleasure to be here, man.
All right. So I got the cancer stuff out the way. Now let's get to the good stuff. And the series that I really felt everybody was going to look forward to and have a microscope on provided the best moment of the weekend thus far. And that was the Nets and the Celtics. Now,
I was asked a question earlier today.
Go ahead.
How did I feel with Kyrie giving Boston the finger? And me being a Yankee fan, I have no problem with it. F Boston. That's how I feel personally.
I'll get to the finger in a minute, which that's kind of funny though. All right, so it was a nip and tuck game for the first half. Then the Celtics sort of imposed their will in the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter, the Nets came back, and they feverishly came back, took the lead for a while. I actually had a 5-point lead late in the game, but a wonderful pirouette 180 layup by one Jason Tatum put the Celtics over the Nets in TD Garden to the tune of 115-114. Easily the best game of the weekend.
Yes.
There's not even a question. Easily the best game of the weekend. You had the aforementioned guy who hit the game-winning layup in Tatum. He scored 31. Paced along with him was Jaylen Brown with 23, Marcus Smart with 20, which that'd be a welcome addition if Smart plays just as big on the offensive end as he does on the defensive end.
Yes.
And Al Horford, 20 points, which that was huge.
Oh, he turned back the clock yesterday.
Yeah, the 20 points, that was huge. What I circle with him is the 15 rebounds. Because that highlights, I think, an issue that the Nets may have if Drummond decides not to wake up and actually play like a big man. Now, on the Nets end, you have Kyrie, who led all scorers with 39. And actually efficient shooting again, 12 of 20 from the field and 6 of 10 from 3. He actually had a pretty good hand.
Yeah.
Durant struggled a little bit, 9 of 24 from the field. He scored 23. And I'm sorry, Kyrie also had 6 assists as well. You had Claxton, who chipped in with 13, and Dragic, who hit 14. But the scoring was either going to be Durant and Irving or bust, and it ended up being bust by 1 point.
Well, you can't really say it was bust. Jason Tatum just hit a great shot. Did a good play, man. Great play. So it was a hell of a game. They both came in ball. Now, the question is, if Ben Simmons does play,
oh Lord,
how much of an impact will he have?
Ben Simmons does play. How much impact does he have?
Well, listen, go ahead, put it up there. I know you want to put it up there.
Well, you mentioned his name. I wasn't even going to bring it up, but since you did, if you see this man, report him to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. He's been missing now almost to the day 10 months. The last time he set foot on an NBA court was June the 20th of last year. And now April 20th will be Wednesday. He has not donned a uniform and set his foot on a basketball court other than in a practice capacity in 10 months. So if you've seen this man, contact Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. We would love it and we would appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate that, Wise. Thank you for setting that up. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. You want to join? You want to be like a Wise and join me Friday? Okay, bet. All right, no problem. All right. So I get what you're saying. Yes, you would say you really wouldn't call it a bust. I understand it. You know, from a fan standpoint, I wouldn't call it a bust. I would call it a great game because I had no interest in either team. From an analyst standpoint, I somewhat do call it slightly one because the team needed to have a Herculean effort from one of the two bigs and got one, but didn't get one from the other. And it's probably going to take that type of effort for this team to make it all the way and win a championship.
You're gonna need both of them. You're gonna need both of them to go start to just ball out.
Yeah.
Because Boston has two of their own studs.
Right.
I'm saying because Tatum and Brown are two studs. And then Smart is just a beast on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna miss Williams.
Oh man, they're gonna miss that big presses in the middle.
They're gonna miss, and I believe me, like when I saw Boston play the Knicks, this kid was all over the court, so they're definitely gonna miss him.
Yeah,
but they're deep, man, and they're very well coached.
Mm-hmm.
They have played. Al Horford turned back the clock.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest things for them, was to get Al Horford back.
Mm-hmm.
And when they did get him back, it helped them, because when they traded him to OKC, things kind of like fell apart for them in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And when they brought him back for Kemba Walker, which was it was just probably just a steal for them, because they wasn't going to play Kemba. So it benefited them to get that veteran presence in there, and someone who was really, people really loved him in Boston. And when they traded when he left to Philly, actually, he left to Philly, and then went to OKC after that, and then they got him back. That was a big thing for them.
Yeah. And Cool says, "Let's go." So, well, I guess this is official. Joining me, like as Wise joins me every Monday, this Friday will be one Mr. Cool McCain, who, man, it's great when he jumps on the mic too. All right, so you eloquently put all of that together, and I agree with you. I think the biggest presence to me with the Celtics in this game, not this series, but in this game, was Al Horford turning the clock back. I agree with you. Now, speaking of turning the clock back, there was a wonderful tough shot that Kyrie made. It was a 3. He sank it. And then he looked at a Celtics fan and he gave him a "we're number 1" sign, but it wasn't the index finger. Now, and then there was, I think there was a chant in the crowd that said "F Kyrie" all throughout TD Garden. All right, here's my quick thoughts on that. And he said that this was like in the spirit of competition, which is fine, cool, no problem. But you should expect that when you pull a Kyrie move. What do you mean? What do I mean? Well, remember, going into the 2019 season, he sat center court in an empty TD Garden Arena. And with Danny Ainge, and I think it was another person, I can't remember who at the moment, that was sitting with them, along with the camera aimed at all of them. Kyrie took a mic, shoved it in his own mouth, and said, "Oh, I'm going to be in Boston for a long time." And then we turn the clock 1 year later. You chunk the deuces to the Celtics. You move down south, and you become a Brooklyn Net, where you said to Durant, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm doing this all wrong. My bad. Hold on." You decided to do this on the slide to Durant. Quote, "Why don't we get a team together and establish our culture? We don't have to be with the Knicks. Let's be with the Nets. We can establish our own culture." Close quote. So I can see why Celtics fan would tell him F Kyrie, because dude was like, "I'm gonna be a Celtic for life," and that life was not even a year. So I totally get why they don't like him. and but I find it funny, and petty in a good sense that Kyrie is doing that in return. I'm sorry, your thoughts, sir.
Like I said before, man, it didn't bother me. I'm like I said, being a New Yorker, in every single sport, Boston is our arch nemesis. Every sport. And so I didn't see a problem with it. I say F Boston all the time.
And yeah. And all right, to be fair, Kyrie also is a named New Yorker too. So okay. And so I think that's just exactly. I think it's just part of a New Yorker's blood to basically just, in a sports sense, just simply disregard Boston. And I think it's in the Bostonians' blood to disregard everything New York. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Fully understand that. But yeah, so if anybody raises a fuss about the middle finger, so be it. Yeah. That's just how things roll. I really don't care. Doesn't really matter.
Now the NBA, on the other hand,
they'll
might
find
not they might not like it and find his ass, but
the NBA will find him. There's no question. They were like, Kyrie, now this is not how we want our NBA players to act. We want to be respectful to the fans. Don't be disrespectful to them. And because of that, you're going to have to come off of that $50,000 of that pot that of that money that you're earning. Oh, Lord. Six says, how long before the Nets finally put their foot down regarding the Ben Simmons situation? He might have to play in the Australian League if he doesn't get it together. You mean he might have to go back home? Oh, that's interesting. He also says, plus, Kyrie played a couple of seasons with the Celtics for what it's worth. Right. Yeah. Yeah. He has that history with the Celtics, and he spurned them. He spurned the city, he spurned the Celtics. So, yeah, I mean, that I can understand that. And cool, I love you for this. Yo, Ben Simmons is a joke. I agree. And speaking of the joke, we were sincere at Snowman in the Morning when we say, find this man, please. Put him back on the court. It's been almost 10 months to the day when he was embarrassing himself and the rest of the NBA by not being big in the biggest of moments. So if you can find this man who came up smaller than mini me in four of the 7 games in the conference semifinals last year, reporting to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I'm sorry, just had to get that out there. Cool says Kyrie and the Celtics have a hate relationship. Yeah, they do. They do. And I think he's happy with that personally. Now I will transition to the Heat putting the beat down on the Hawks. Now, there was this brouhaha, and I find it funny because in basketball situations, you could just simply get two people entangled, and all of a sudden, people think it's going to be some type of action. But it's just two basketball players just get entangled in Jimmy Butler and Trae Young. So the Heat beat the Hawks down and beat them down soundly, 115-91. And I said this on Friday. I said it didn't matter if it was going to be the Cavs or the Hawks. The Heat were going to handle whoever was going to come out of that playing game. So to me, I could see the Heat playing one more of these types of games against them. Now, I think the series will get a little more competitive once it shifts to Atlanta. But I really believe the Heat are going to have their way with the Hawks, especially in Miami. I really believe that because I just don't see the Hawks having any answer for them other than if Trae Young just goes off and scores 40. That's the only way I can see it. So in the game, it was, I guess you could say it was balanced scoring. Robinson led the way with 27. Butler chipped in with 21. You had Tucker with 16. And you had Lowry who hit double digits with 10. But I think it was the defensive effort that you saw more that was impressive with the Heat than the offensive effort. 17 points from Gallinari for the Hawks. 10 each from Collins and Johnson. 14 from Hunter. And Trae Young. 0 of 7 from 3, 1 of 12 from the field, 8 points in total. Now, I know and I'm aware that Young will not shoot that badly all this series, that Young more than likely will have more than 8 points. I understand that. But if the Heat defense can continue to, and I'm not just talking about with him, I'm talking about just if they could just simply lock down the team in general, the way they did yesterday, the Hawks will have a long 3 games to go. And it might be a sweep. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be, but it might be if the Heat put up that pressure defensively on the Hawks like they did yesterday. Your thoughts on this game, sir?
Yeah, I didn't expect much from Atlanta. Listen, the Heat are the number 1 seed for a reason. They have one of the best coaches in the NBA. If not the best coach.
Yeah. Video room rat.
Yeah.
Just lives in the video room.
You got a superstar in Jimmy Butler. You got some great pieces with Tyler Hero, Bam. You got Kyle Lowry. You got a lot of talent on that team. And of course, you always got the heart and soul of that team, Haslam.
Yeah,
So
he does Haslam. Yeah.
I expected it to be a little bit more competitive, but it doesn't surprise me that he shut them down like that. First of all, and then if Collins and Capella aren't 100%, those are two big pieces for you. And if they're injured,
yeah, I could see this series being wrapped up very soon. Yeah, I agree with you there.
I can see a sweep if you're absolutely right. Cool. PJ Tucker, another big pickup for them, getting him from Milwaukee. So
and I agree with that sentiment too. When PJ Tucker drops 17, you in trouble 100. That's what Cool McCain says. Yes, I agree with you. Exactly. Cool also went on to say massacre, team on team violence. He treated the Hawks like they treated the Hornets in the play-in. Like the Hawks traded the Hornets. I agree, man. Six says, here's a thought. Given that Kyrie's godfather is Ross Strickland, should the latter break that foot in the former's rear end? I love Rod. I really love Rod.
So do I. I was upset when they traded him away.
Oh, I'm sure you were.
Yeah,
I'm sure you were. What game shall I go to next? Okay, well, I'll go to this defensive matchup between the Bucks and the Bulls. 93-86 was the final score there. This actually made me happy because it sort of brought me back to basketball in the mid-90s, which to me that was my favorite, when I saw teams on the defensive end give effort. I love that. I love that. I love that. And I love that both teams defensively were giving the other the business. So the Bulls, they were led by Vujicic with 24. You had 18 from Zach LaVine. You had White with 12 off the bench. Kobe White with 12 off the bench. And DeMar DeRozan, which I think that was probably the sore spot to say. Only getting 6-25 from the field and scoring 18 points. And I think that led the way for the Bucks to do what they did defensively. On the other end, you had 15 points from Drew Holiday. You had 18 from returning Brook Lopez, 11 from Chris Middleton, 10 from Mr. Portis, and of course, leading the way with 16 rebounds to boot, one Mr. Giannis Antetokounmpo with 27. I could see this series going pretty much this way the rest of the way. And I could see this going at least 6.
Yes, I could see it. But again, it's everybody we're gonna go back to the Lakers. Everybody wants to talk about, they were injured, but the Bulls have dealt with injuries all year long,
almost all year, yeah,
and still are in this position. They miss Lonzo.
They miss him bad. Yes,
they miss Lonzo. I'm sure LaVine is never 100%. So it's gonna be a great series. I like Billy Donovan as a coach, but you have one of the best players playing out his mind in Giannis. Giannis is a beast.
Yeah,
he is a monster, and now that he's added a jump shot to his game, he's even more of a monster because now he can shoot it from 3.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. When he came out, he wasn't shooting jumpers like that.
No,
so he practiced his craft and improved
all the time. Yep,
and improved and showed that. Listen, if you go into the gym and shoot jump shots, you're going to improve. So all you other guys who just think that you can just come in and shoot, you need to go into the gym and start shooting, because practice makes perfect.
Well, you remember this is the same guy who in the playoffs, whenever he was on the road, people basically loud counting him to throw him off. And look at him now.
Yeah.
And that's just in 1 year.
And that's him wanting to improve.
Mm-hmm.
That's him wanting to show that he is one of the best players in the world.
That's not even a question. Not even a question. At worst, he's one of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So,
Definitely.
yeah.
Six says facts. Cool. Sick, cool, love what you said. Talk about Ross Strickland and Kyrie. Cool, I'm with you too, man. Giannis is a bad man. Yes, he is. He most certainly is. Six says, and Serge Ibaka was benched along with Giannis' older brother, Giannis's. Yeah, I really feel as though this series is long from over. In fact, I think this is going to be one of those where we're going to be talking about it probably the following Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, because I really believe that this is going to be one of those fights that we're going to love seeing, because it's going to be two teams evenly matched, and it's going to depend possibly on basically if the main guy actually shows up and shows up strong, and the supporting cast shows up strong with them. That's what it looks like to me with this series, which that to me is playoff basketball at its finest. All right. Well, before we continue, let's reset. We are now in hour number 2 of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. On the other side, more NBA playoff breakdown.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
First and 10. Luck steps up, fires towards the end zone. One-handed catch! Mo Alley Cox!
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait. Are you kidding me?
Do you believe it?
Hour number 2 of Snowman in the Morning is coming right at you. One half of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. The other half, you saw him in hour number 1. He is resting as he should. 2 weeks removed from cancer surgery. He sends his regards and love. Brian loves you all, and I love him, and he loves us. And he sounds great. I'm happy.
He sounds amazing. He sounds really good.
He sounds really good. Yes. And joining us and joining me in particular, as he does every Monday, is Wise El Jefe. I love that. How you doing, man?
I am doing well, bro. I'm happy to be here, man. I look forward to Mondays. This morning I woke up. I was up bright and early, made some coffee, brewed some coffee, made the wife breakfast, and then I was like, okay, babe, I won't see you when you leave because I'll be doing the show. So kissed her goodbye and everything, and came into the studio and started recording with you.
That's cool. That's awesome. And Trisha, it's a pleasure to see you again. Good morning. How you doing?
Hello, Aunt Trisha.
The 6 says that's a fair point, Cole. This season's entire playoffs could be pretty grueling for any team the further they advance. Yeah, and that's how it normally works, especially for teams that grind like the Bucks do. But what the beauty about it, and I'm saying this, and I think I could speak for Wise in this. The beauty about it is if your team plays that type of style like the Knicks in the mid-90s did and the Rockets in the mid-90s did, they seem to feed off of that grind, and they seem to want to pull you into that grind. And if they can, more than likely they will beat you with what they know how to do, and that's just to be more physical. And yeah, I agree with you. Sik also says, good morning to you, and Trisha. Wish you a happy Easter. And Trisha says the same thing back to you, Sik. 6 says, why is El Jefe? I see your point. A happy man is happy everywhere and happy for everyone. Yeah. And Trisha says, Nets versus Boston. Man. Yeah, I think we're all saying that, and Trisha. That last second shot by Tatum. Whew, beautiful. That was a thing of beauty.
Yeah. And to think this kid is still a young buck. He's got so much room to grow.
Yeah.
It's
Still
amazing.
Still does.
Yeah.
Still does. Yeah. Now I'm going to go to Sunday night's game. The Suns hosting the Pelicans. Now you heard in hour number 1 Brian saying that when this series goes to New Orleans, that the intensity is going to be ratcheted up a lot, and it will be because, well, New Orleans loves any playoff atmosphere, whether it's the Saints or the Pelicans. So he is right in that assessment. But the Phoenix Suns pulled it out last night, 110-99. They had control of the game early, did the Suns. But the Pelicans decided to show some fight in the desert. They fought back a little bit, and they took the monumental effort of one Chris Paul, and we talked about him, CP3, or how some people labeled him the point god. And it took that effort to actually stem the tide and actually hold the Pelicans at bay. Now, the Pelicans were led by McCollum, as they always are.
No surprise.
There's
no surprise there.
25 points is what he scored. Valanciunas scored 18, chipped in with 18. Larry Nance Jr. chipped in also at 14. And you had Brandon Ingram chip in with 18. So you had balance.
You had good balance. You had good balance.
You had good balance. You had decent output from the people you expected from the Pelicans.
Yep.
So this is a good sign. Normally, you would for a team like that to win on the road, you got to have your role players do really big damage, or at least one of them do big damage offensively. No one in the others scored over 6 points, so it's sort of expected that was going to happen.
Yeah.
On the Suns' end, you had Ayton, who came in with 21 points, only had 9 boards. That's a little disconcerting to me a bit. Mikal Bridges, of course, he's a stud on the defensive end, 11 points on the offensive end Sunday night. Devin Booker, 25 points and 8 dimes. You had Johnson with 13 off the bench. But, of course, leading all scorers is one Chris Paul with 30 points. He chipped in with 10 assists, and he threw in 7 rebounds to boot to show you that he is a well-versed basketball player. All right, so your thoughts on, do you think that this is a harbinger of things to come, that the Suns, who have the best record in the game today, is going to simply run roughshod over everybody in the playoffs, or do you think that they're going to trip up and have some trouble trying to hone in and harness on being the top dog?
No. That month not having Chris Paul set them apart from everybody else, because they showed you that they don't necessarily need Chris Paul to beat you. But now having him, it's a big difference, man. And with this team coming into their own, with these young studs on this team, Mikal Bridges, Booker, Johnson, all these studs, and some
deep.
This is good, an amazing team, and then you have a great coach in Monty Williams, who I love. I love Monty.
He has a nice hand with this team. It's like he knows the right buttons to push, and he knows how to push them.
Well,
when to push them.
He's played for some named coaches, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's learned from a lot of different coaches. He's under the Pops tree.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying he played in the Knicks with Van Gundy.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been under some great coaches.
Yeah.
And he's always been that player that he is one of the most humblest people out there.
That's another thing I love
especially going through what he went through with his wife and all that.
Yeah.
And
class guy for sure.
Definitely. So to have him lead this squad, especially after last year's disappointment, losing to the Bucks, they're like we're gonna run it back, and they're a completely different animal. They're not the same team that everybody faced last year.
Yeah, they're not. And I think people think they are, but they're not.
Oh, they're not.
They're not.
Nowhere near that.
And to your point, the fact that they did not have Chris Paul for a month, and then now they have him. This is a good point here. So he drops 30 and 10 and 7. If that doesn't happen, the Pelicans stand a chance but it wouldn't be like you think. Well, the Suns might monumentally struggle without him.
Because all right, listen. All I hear is Embiid, Jokic, Giannis as MVP, right?
Mm-hmm.
I need to start giving my man Devin Booker some respect. They need to start putting respect on his name, because this boy has come out and shown that, yes, CP3 is the man, but this is my team.
And I think this year he has shown that. Here's the problem with that. And I do not disagree with you. I mean, Devin Booker should receive MVP love. But how it normally goes, the MVP award normally is handed to the best player on the best team, and it's unquestioned if he's the best guy on the best team. When you have the question of, well, whose team is it? Fair or unfair, and in this case, to me, with Booker, it's unfair because that team is his. And if you don't believe me, ask everybody on that team, including Chris Paul. You're going to have the thought of, well, that team is not buoyed by this guy, so how valuable really is he? That's an unfair thing, but that's how they look at it. And unfortunately, they have to go down the list. And it's like, well, can't really say John Morant of the Grizzlies. He didn't play enough. Can't really say anybody in the Warriors. It would be Curry, but he got hurt and he missed a third year. And most certainly, it's not going to be anybody in the Heat. And so then you come down to the Bucks and the Sixers, and there you have your candidates. And then you have to look at Jokic with the effort that he has done with the Nuggets,
the Herculean effort that he puts in every night,
playing without his biggest weapon all 82 games, and playing without Michael Porter Jr. for 73. Yeah, you have to look at that, and I think people are looking at it from that aspect. But to your Devin Booker point, please not sleep on him. That dude is a monster.
Listen, when Kobe marks you for greatness, and we're talking about one of the greatest basketball minds ever, ever, and he sees the potential in you, and you start living up to it.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, what else is there? Yeah, I agree with you. Ryan, good morning to you, sir. Happy
morning,
Easter.
Ryan.
That's right. The Lord is risen indeed. Hallelujah. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. 6 says, Chris Paul will be 37 next month and in his 17th year in the league. He definitely is a grizzled veteran. No question about that. And 6 says, happy Easter to you, Ryan. And Ryan in return says the same to you, Sick. I want to say that I could see the Pelicans getting a game or two, and I think they could probably get game 3.
They can get a game. A sweep wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, sweep wouldn't surprise me either.
A sweep wasn't surprise me, but I feel the Pelicans could pull two games out.
Yeah,
especially at home.
Yeah, I think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be the Suns in 5 or 6, a gentleman sweeper in 6. Just the fact, to me, I think seeing the team show fight, I think that is going to be the victory that this team would have, in my estimation.
And that's something we touched on earlier last week. Is they are a few pieces away from being a legitimate playoff team all the time.
Yeah.
If Zion could ever stay healthy, where would this team be?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. That's a wonderful question. All right, let me transition to this game. So the 2-7 in the West, the Grizzlies hosted the Timberwolves, and we're still waiting for the Grizzlies defense to show up.
But so to our credit, we did say Minnesota was going to be a problem.
Oh yeah. And I still
we did say Minnesota was going to be a problem for them.
Oh yeah, I still say it's going to be a problem, and I've been on record saying I can see this going 7, and I still can see this going 7 because putting up 117 points against a team like the Timberwolves, that's not easy to do. But the Grizzlies did it. But they fell 130 to 117 at home, and so they are now in an uphill battle. But it was a good game by the Timberwolves. I do have to say this. I mean, look, 29 points from Cat.
And that's what we said. We said Cat was going to be key.
Yes,
we said if we get Cat, if we get Cat that played in the playing game, then they were going to lose.
Yes,
but if we got Cat from the regular season,
yeah,
the Grizzlies was going to have a problem.
Yeah, and if he can put up 29 and 13 every game, most teams will have an issue beating them. It won't be it would be no issue with that. they have problems beating them.
They have some studs, man. We've discussed this.
Yes, they do, and we're about to discuss them.
Anthony Edwards is a beast.
I'm going to get to him. So along with the 29 that Cat scored, 23 from Beasley, 15 from McDaniels, 10 each from Beverly and D'Angelo Russell. But one of the highlights of the weekend for me, Mr. Anthony Edwards, 12 of 23 from the field, 4-11 from 3, 36 points and 6 assists. I guess this guy is not just a dunker, huh?
No, he's not. He is not. He's actually developed the jumper. So
yes.
So he's going to be a problem, man.
Yes. And if he could put up, he doesn't have to put up 36, but if he could put up 25 along with Towns 25,
I'm telling you, they can be a problem.
Man, I was in awe. I was in awe seeing Edwards just have his way with the Grizzlies offense and defense. It didn't matter. It didn't matter where he was on the court. He was going to get to where he wanted to go. He was going to get to his spot and make his shots. It was amazing to see him just maneuver freely like he did.
Because look at it. This kid can be a superstar.
Yes, he easily can.
He can be a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
And to have him and Cat together, and then you add D. Russ, who I love.
Mm-hmm. He's
Beasley.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else. This is, of course, we talk about the past and Patrick Beverly.
Right. Yeah.
So this team has the components to surprise a lot of teams.
Yes.
Even Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. They can. They can. And all right, should the Timberwolves win this series, they'll go on and they'll play the winner of the Nuggets Warriors series.
I could see them beating
either team.
Yes, I could see them beating either of those teams.
Yeah, the Timberwolves.
I don't think any team matches up well with them.
No.
Yes, Denver with Jokic would cancel out Cat.
Yeah, I was about to say Denver with the bigs can. Yeah.
Yes. But as far as everybody else in that team, Jokic is by himself.
Right. And
then when you go to Golden State,
mm-hmm.
what answer do they have for Cat?
Right.
Because Wiseman isn't playing.
And Wiseman would be that answer.
He would be that answer.
Mm-hmm.
Draymond is Draymond, of course.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But who really is going to be the answer for Cat? That's the question.
Yeah. Now, the Grizzlies in the losing effort, they actually did pretty well offensively. It was unfortunate that this effort just could not be rewarded with a win. Jackson Jr. with 12, Bain with 17, Brooks with 24, Clark with 13, and of course Morant with 32. Pat tacked on 8 assists as well. It's unfortunate he put on the show because Morant is a beast, but it just wasn't good enough on Saturday because even though Morant did his thing, Anthony Edwards.
But we've discussed that. Like,
yes,
we said yes. The Grizzlies are a great team.
They are,
but they're not there yet. They're not at that level yet.
No.
The next couple of years, they're gonna be there, but they're not there just yet.
Yeah.
And so I could see them going down. I could see Cat and them knocking them out.
Yeah, I can too. I totally can. Cool says Pelicans will get a game or two for sure, but Phoenix is far superior. 100%, bro. Andrew, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. Good to see you again. And he says, I thought they were still a year or two away. Maybe not. Talking about the Timberwolves. Well, I mean, I think we all thought that. I think we all thought that. Tracy says, indeed.
Nobody thought Minnesota would be here.
Yeah. I think we all thought that. Because I'll be willing to tell you, man, I did not see them basically causing fits for any of the top 3 seeds in the West. Did not say that at all. And if I were to say that, I'd be lying to you.
Yeah.
Now, going to the Jazz Mavericks series.
All right. So we discussed this too, and we said no Luka, no chance.
And true to form, no Luka, and L for the Mavericks. 99-93 is the final score. And I think we both said if the tempo is heightened, that favors the Mavericks. If the tempo is slowed down, it favors the Jazz. The tempo was slowed down, as you could see by the first quarter. The Mavs only led 23-20, which that's the game that's right in the Jazz
they want to play. That's the game that they want to play. We spoke about it earlier, that grinding game.
Mm-hmm.
That's their game. They're a defensive team.
Yes.
Yes, they had some offensive weapons, but they rely on their defense.
Yeah, they rely on the defense. They lead with it. No question about that. If you don't believe me, Rudy Gobert only scored 5 points. He pulled on 17 boards. He gave you 3 blocks. So
Rudy's never been that offensive juggernaut.
No,
if he was to add that to his repertoire, then the Jazz would be monsters.
Yes, they would be. They would be.
But he's never been that offensive, give you 20, 10, and 4. None of that.
Never.
So, but it benefits them to play that grind game.
It does. It
does not benefit that Dallas to grind it out because you don't have those defensive studs.
Mm-mm.
You don't. And then without Luka,
that
offense is going to sputter.
Yeah,
they have some weapons. They have some weapons. Yes, they have Hardaway, some other guy. One of the they got some players. Jalen Brunson.
Yeah,
there you go.
I'm sorry. I'll get to them in a minute because you touched on a good point, and you touched on a point that I wanted to bring up overall about the Mavericks. So along with the 5 points and 17 boards and 3 blocks from Gobert, you had Mike Conley with 13. You had Clarkson with 10. Oh, how you doing? Former Laker. I'm so sorry.
Oh man, we discussed that, man. We discussed all those picks, man.
Yeah. And leading the way the whole game, which yes he did, led all scores. 32 was Donovan Mitchell, tacked on 6 boards and 6 dimes. On the losing end, the Mavericks were led by Brunson, the aforementioned Brunson with 24. Dinwiddie, who I think he needs to really show up.
That was a big pickup for him.
Yeah. Yeah, he also paced away with 22, 15 from Bullock, 14 from Finney-Smith, and Kleber was in double digits. To your overall point about the Mavericks, they have the offensive firepower. The problem is they need fluidity. And I think we are now seeing what Luka brings to a team. And you would ask, okay, well, what does Luka bring? He can score, he can give you boards, he can give you dimes. What does he give you? And the answer to that question is fluidity, because it looks like with the tutelage of Jason Kidd, the first year under Jason Kidd, it looks like Luka gives that offense flow.
Yes.
When he's in, the offense flows. When he's not in, the offense grinds to a halt. And it is imperative that they have to have Luka. And you and I both said it. No Luka, no advancement in playoffs. They need to have Luka in this round.
They need
sure.
Luka. They definitely need Luka.
Yeah.
Because if not, Donovan Mitchell is going to go off.
Oh yeah, he's going to dominate. He's going to dominate the series.
Which he did.
Mm-hmm.
So no Luka. Bye.
Yeah. Well said.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, well said on that one. That's all I gotta say on that one too. Well said. The Raptors 76ers. Can I actually be honest with you? Of all the 8 series, I'm the most bored with this one.
Yes. it's not. It doesn't excite me. This series. There's nothing in this series that says, "Watch me."
Mm-hmm. And then Tricia says, "Luka is fire," and I 100% agree with you. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. 6 says the Grizzlies defense needs improvement. Mm-hmm. Jaren Jackson Jr. had 7 blocks, and Brandon Clark led the team with 12 rebounds. Yeah. But yeah,
they didn't show up, man. The defense didn't show up. This wasn't the Memphis Grizzlies. Okay,
yeah.
Regular season and playoffs are 2 different animals, 2 completely different animals, and so yeah, you might have a great regular season, but if your team isn't one of those teams that knows how to turn it up for the playoffs. And they're still young. They're still young.
Yeah, I was going to say.
They're still a young team. No one thought Memphis would be the number 2 seed.
No.
So they're ahead of schedule. Let's get that straight.
They are far ahead of schedule.
So again, it's going to come with experience and growth. But like I said, this Minnesota team is going to be a problem.
Yeah, and I think the rest of the series is going to go pretty similar to this. Not saying that the Timberwolves are going to sweep the Grizzlies. No. I'm saying that I think the Timberwolves are going to give the Grizzlies all they can handle and then some.
Yeah.
And to your point about the Grizzlies, yes, regular season is one thing, the playoffs is another, especially for a team that is as useful as the Grizzlies are. And even though it's scant for most of them, the Timberwolves do have some playoff experience. If you put Patrick Beverley in the mix, obviously, I mean, yeah, he has played more playoff games than the rest of the Timberwolves team combined.
Yeah,
let alone the Grizzlies, who that unit's only had one series and one play-in experience thus far.
Yeah.
So yeah. Raptors, man, they suffered a big injury. Man, Barnes, I feel so bad for him.
Scotty Barnes, man, Rookie of the Year candidate right there.
Yeah. They talk about literal insult to injury, or injury to insult. They played out of sorts, and then they have this injury happen to him. 111 was final score. The game really wasn't even that close. The Raptors on the losing end. Siakam paced away with 24. Anunoby with 20. Barnes, before he was out, got injured and was escorted to the dressing room with 15. Van Fleet with 18. And for the Raptors to do anything, they need to have Van Fleet score a little over 20, in my opinion.
Yep.
And Siakam has to score over 25. I think they have to have that. I think that's the number. Van Fleet has to score over 20. Siakam has to score over 25. And they got to have 2 more contributors. And then somebody from the other role players to come up. Because in order for them to win the series, they need to have at least 5 guys score double digits, with Siakam scoring over 25 and Van Fleet scoring over 20. Because if they could do that, they stand a chance. The way it's constituted now, I don't think so. Because the Sixers.
And listen, the Sixers. When we talked about the Sixers last week, a name that we brought up that is going to be very key for them, and it's not even Harden.
Nope.
It's my man Maxey.
That was not even Embiid either. Yes.
It's my man Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey.
This boy is key. If he can come out and play like he did yesterday, Sixers are going to sweep him.
Yeah. Sixers will sweep him. If Maxey could put forth a 38-point performance and be 5 of 8 from 3, yes, there'll be no question the Sixers will have an easy time of it against the Raptors. Not saying they will, but if Maxey could put forth those types of numbers, they will. Tobias Harris, 26 points.
He's big. They needed him to step up.
Yes, they needed that. They did. James Harden, 22 points with 14 dimes and 5 boards. And Joel Embiid with 19 points, 15 boards, and 4 assists himself, which I like that number for this reason. He wasn't on, and because in my opinion, I really would like for him to play closer to the basket.
Yes. Even though he can shoot the 3,
yes, he can.
I want him to dominate inside.
Yeah.
Because he can.
Yeah.
He can dominate inside.
That's the thing. He can. I really believe he would be the best big man in the league if he actually dared others to play inside in the post. I really believe that.
He can dominate. My man has the footwork, the skills to be completely dominant inside. No one can. No one. I mean, no one. No one.
No one.
And so, if he was to play a little bit more with his back to the basket,
I would love it.
Yeah,
I would love it. But this is a great sign for the Sixers because you had Embiid, who didn't play the most impressive game, and you had Harden, who he played to expectation to the rest of the team. He may not have had the "oh my gosh, James Harden is back" type of game where he
won't, but he's not going to have that. Like
and
I'm saying,
and he shouldn't. He shouldn't have that.
I feel if he does, they're going to lose.
Yes, he shouldn't have that.
All he needs to do is just show up and play some, score some offense, facilitate the ball.
Yeah,
because that young kid Maxey is that future with that team. To me, when they brought Harden in, I felt that they was going to stunt his growth.
And it still
was just me. It just might still, but I felt that this kid was the reason Joel Embiid was the top candidate for MVP
because dude kept feeding him. That's what I want. That's what I wanted to see. And look, Brian and I have basically said this. It's like, man, Harden's going to come in. He's going to want to dictate tempo more. He's want to hold the ball more. He's want to take more shots, which he did take more shots than Embiid. And it's going to throw off what the team is built on. The team is built on having Embiid cook and everybody else cooks around him.
Yep.
But if Maxey could put forth this effort, 38, whew, this is what the 76ers need. And when they had decent performances from the two big names, but you have Maxey just simply say, "I got you guys," and just puts them on the back. Yeah, the Sixers can't be beat. In this series, for sure, they can't be beat.
Definitely,
not even a question.
No, I agree with you with that 100%.
Which brings me to the final of the 8 games that we have covered today, and that would be the Warriors and the Nuggets. And I did this on purpose because I know the Warriors are Brian's favorite team. And I know he was happy Saturday night with the 123-107 victory over the Nuggets. And in my opinion, I really believe the Nuggets, and you touched on this when we talked about the Timberwolves Nuggets matchup, if that were to happen. The Nuggets could have the kryptonite to the Warriors because they have Jokic. But you mentioned what the Nuggets don't have that could supplement what Jokic can bring. And we saw that Saturday night.
Yeah.
And in the losing effort, the Nuggets were paced by 25, 10 and 6 from Jokic, 10 rebounds and 6 assists from him, 10 points from Morris, 24 points from Barton, and Highlandwood in double digits. Decent output, but the role players have to step up more, and that was evident. The Warriors, 12 points from Green, 16 points from Wiggins, 19 points from Thompson, 16 off the bench from 16 off the bench from Curry. But it wasn't any of them. It was one Jordan Poole. 9 of 13 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3, 30 points. Now, if Poole can actually be the third guy to the Splash Brothers, how far do you see the Warriors going?
Ooh. Man, depends. Depends on which Andrew Wiggins show up.
I love your answer. I love your answer.
Yeah, to me, it depends on which Andrew Wiggins show up.
I love your answer.
If you get the Andrew Wiggins from earlier this year, where he was playing a hell of a game, he was playing, he was balling early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he got tired later on, but
yeah,
if you get that Andrew Wiggins, you might do some damage in the playoffs because you got the championship bloodline in there. You got Curry, you got Thompson, you got Green, you got Kerr, and you start infusing this young talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can go pretty far. And to your point, along with the 16 points that Wiggins scored, 9 boards. If he could do that, I like their chances too.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think if he could stay within the 15.7 to 10 rebound range,
you give them what they need. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what the Warriors need, that the 3 guards will not be able to give them. And if that's the case,
yeah,
I like their chances a lot.
I do too.
And as for the Nuggets, yeah, it's just simple and plain. Jokic just needs help. That's the only thing. Jokic needs help.
Aaron Gordon needs to step up his game.
Yes.
You got him from Orlando for a reason.
Yes. Yeah, Aaron Gordon, where are you? Yeah, he needs to step his game up.
That's what we need to put a missing poster for
him. 8 points and 5 boards just don't cut it.
Yeah, no, we need a wanted poster for that dude because he was missing yesterday.
Yeah, and I think if he can provide what I believe Jokic so desperately needs in the front court, which is a little more protection from there, then I think the Nuggets probably could stand a chance. But when Jokic has to do it all, where he has to actually score and be the guy to bring on the most boards and the guy to give the most dimes, that's going to wear on him. And I think that's what I'm seeing more of with him in this series as it goes along. And I think he's going to be impressed. He's going to be impressed himself, but it's unfortunate that he's going to play against a team that just simply can just hit you with wave after wave after wave after wave of offense.
Yeah.
And that their intention is to tire him out on the defensive end to where he won't be as effective on the offensive end. Yeah. Cool says Memphis stunk it up. They should be back in form for game 2. I agree. Well, I agree with you on that too, Cool. Luka definitely makes a difference, but he has to be the elite facilitator. He has to be to get out of the first round, maybe this year. If Luka can do that, because that's the thing that I believe the Mavericks missed Saturday. I think if he can get in his mind that he is the guy who is the elite and ultimate facilitator,
yeah,
and he still puts up the 20, 22, 23, 24, 25 points,
yeah,
I really believe the Mavericks will be advancing to the next round, and Luka will have I finally got the first round monkey off his back. 6 says the big man on the inside is a lost art. Man, you already know you talking to a Knicks fan and a Rockets fan.
And we grew up with big men.
Yes. We need to say nothing else on that.
We know the importance of a big man. Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Sick also said Harden had the most time on the floor. So you see the troubling aspect of this too, Sick.
Problem,
That's exactly my issue.
Problem.
That's exactly my issue. I'm like, Harden is not going to be the guy to lead you there. He's going to be a guy that's supposed to help facilitate you there.
Yeah, because when he did lead teams, he didn't lead them to the promised land.
No, because at some point he decided he was a magician and disappeared. Sick. Matisse Thybulle needs to step up so as to keep Harden on the bench. Yeah, well, here's the problem with that.
He won't be in Canada.
Yeah, I was about to say.
He won't be in Canada.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That will not happen in games 3 and 4 because he will not be able to play. Cool says Denver needs their other 2 top scorers to really compete. Yes. This series should help Golden State get their momentum going. Gordon has to ball hard, but truthfully, he's always been up and down. Yeah.
Yes. That was one of the reasons Orlando gave up on him.
That's the exact reason why Orlando gave up on him.
See? So it's we all know they miss Murray. They miss Michael Porter Jr. Those are 2 studs.
Yes.
And so and they're holding out hope that Murray can play this series. They're waiting for him. Listen, they're waiting for him. The ball is in his court.
Yeah.
And Denver said, listen, when you're ready to play, you let us know. So obviously he doesn't feel like he's 100% yet. And I get it. It was a devastating injury.
Yeah.
He suffered a devastating injury. And so don't rush him back because his future's ahead of him. So
right.
There's no need to rush him back but
his presence is missing. There's no question about that.
Yeah, his presence and Michael Porter Jr., another key guy. If he could stay healthy as well, this team has a bright future.
Oh, it does.
Willie Barton, all these other guys, they have the key pieces on the bench.
Yes, they have the bench.
They just need the 2 studs to come back healthy.
Yeah, and nice points you put forth there, man. Cool says, I'm a Nuggets fan, but realistically, it's not going to be our season. Actually, for the reasons that Wise just said, it's not going to be your season. And it's not because they suck. It's just that they just suffered huge injuries to the 2 of their 3 studs. And Jokic just had to carry the load for 3 guys for all of this year. That is more weight than for one man to carry. And that's too much weight for role players to carry too, because now they have to step up and to be the number 2 and the number 3 guys when they're not accustomed to being that.
Yeah.
And Cool says he's not talking about
Murray. Yeah,
Jamal Murray. He's not in game shape and too late to work into shape. He should sit. MPJ as well. Next year we coming, bro.
I feel you on that. Cool. I agree with you on that. I definitely agree with you on that.
Let me put you like this. I think the best thing that could have happened to the Nuggets was when they lost 3 years ago in the conference semifinals of Game 7 at home to the Blazers, because I believe that is in Jokic's crawl. I think it's stuck in Murray's crawl, and I think it's stuck in Porter's crawl too. They got a chance to taste that type of success and know what it's like to have the season abruptly end, especially on their home floor. Yeah. And now, in my opinion, they've all said, okay, we haven't been healthy the last 2 years. Yeah. 2023, we coming for next. I agree with you. Because if the Nuggets are fully healthy,
yeah,
everybody better watch out, because
I agree with you on that 100%.
Man. All right. Well, we're going to take a small break, but when we come back, I have to address something in the NFL that's it's the whole thing is just making me shake my head. It's like I'm saying why. I'm just saying why. That's all I gotta say.
I wonder what it could be.
Be right back.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
You're so right for me, and I'm right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go, babe. I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all the stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Winding it down on this Monday morning edition of Snowman in the Morning. I am not Snowman. I am Cole, joined by Mr. Wise El Jefe, as he always joins us every Monday. And all right, tomorrow we will definitely address the Raptors 76ers, the Jazz Mavericks, and the Nuggets Warriors as they play game 2 of their series tonight. So we'll talk a little bit about what happened there and probably what we're looking forward to seeing as the series shifts to the other's home court. And I have other things that I want to talk about too. And I probably will mention a little bit of MLB as well. But we're not done with this episode. And in this one, I'm troubled, man. I'm troubled. Okay, so, all right. We all know there's been some drama that's happened between Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals all throughout the offseason. It almost seemed to start as soon as he threw that pick 6 in the wild card game back in January. It seemed like it started right then and there. And it just seems to get worse and worse and worse. So apparently his agent is pulling the original contract proposal off of the table in the renegotiations. So the contract talks have stalled and they've gone nowhere. And they said it will be a surprise, and it's in quotes, if Murray were to play on his present deal. which in 2022 he'll be paid $5.5 million. Now, all right. So they're saying that it doesn't mean that a deal cannot be reached between the two, and an extension could still be had, but it's setting the stage for a holdout. And in my opinion, I really believe Kyler Murray is tone deaf. What is this man wanting to do? Is he seeing this money that Aaron Rodgers and
does he think he's worth Aaron Rodgers money? I don't knock anybody for what they feel they're worth.
Yeah. Go get it.
I'm saying go try to get that bag, but seriously, do you really think you're worth Aaron Rodgers money?
And does he think he's worth that money, or Patrick Mahomes' money, or Josh Allen's money, or Deshaun Watson's money? Is this quarterback envy? You seeing others getting their bag, but you're not getting yours. And I am humbly asking this question because what have you produced, man?
A playoff.
So you got a playoff berth, and in your very first playoff game, you decided to have the offense not show up at all. All right, so you managed a touchdown, but you actually performed a rookie mistake in the playoffs. You were coached this in Pee Wee League. Forget junior high, high school, or college. If you're in trouble, you do not throw the ball out of your end zone.
No, you throw it away.
You throw the ball away if you're going to throw it, or you just eat the safety. Because if you don't, guess what will happen? If it's an errant throw, you won't give up 2, you give up 7, which is what you
pick 6.
Which is what you did. You threw a pick six.
No, it's sick. It's sick. it was sick when he threw it.
It was a sick throw, and I don't mean sick in a good sense. It was like a wounded duck. I mean, it was almost as if the Rams corner just had to call fair catch. It was just that bad of a throw. But it seems like it's just gone downhill since. And he's done some stupid stuff, like he's pulled Cardinals anything mentions off of his Instagram and Twitter. He seemed to have gone back and forth with the Cardinals brass. And I'm thinking to myself, this does not help you. Well,
you're not going to get no sympathy from me because you're getting paid to play a game. So, okay, yeah, you're still under contract, first of all, from your original rookie deal. You're still under contract. So, and I get it. You need to get that money when you can because, well, now with a lot of these contracts being guaranteed compared to back in the days where it was partially guaranteed. Yeah, it was partially guaranteed, but now these quarterbacks and the receivers are getting boku of guaranteed dollars.
Well, I mean, the last 2 big time deals, one in Rodgers, he has 150 million guaranteed.
We don't even want to talk about what Deshaun's getting guaranteed because Cleveland then just messed up the game.
Yeah, dude. I said this. I said this as soon as I saw the contract, the contract listing. I said, all the other NFL owners, all of them, they're looking to Cleveland and they like,
hell no, to the no, 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 hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Listen,
because they're like, fool. Why did you give this guy that much money? We don't pay quarterbacks this. We don't pay quarterbacks this much money. Why are you doing this? This makes no sense. Yeah, it was crazy.
None whatsoever. It makes no sense whatsoever. And it was like we discussed, Cleveland was not supposed to be his destination.
No.
Until Haslam came and says, listen, I have an open check for you.
Yep.
Here you go. Put the number
Name
you
your price.
want on here.
Yeah.
What is it going to cost me to get you
Mhm.
to Cleveland?
We want you here. Name your price. Yeah.
And I don't knock his agent for going,
I don't either.
really? You're going to give me a blank check?
In fact, I applaud his agent. I'm like, yes, that is what your agent's supposed to
That's
do.
what you're supposed to do. Get me that money.
That's right. You get your client his money.
I don't knock the agent, and I don't knock Deshaun for signing it.
Nope.
I knock Cleveland
for offering it.
Yeah, for giving him that money.
Because I really believe that the Rodgers deal, it was sort of it skirted the line. It was like, okay, well, it's not all guaranteed, but that's a lot guaranteed. And I get it. 140 million guaranteed was to Mahomes. So they wanted to not quite, they wanted to show that we have more faith in you, but we don't want to mess the game up. The Browns basically said, the Hassel just basically hold my beer.
He's like, I don't care. I don't take my money.
Yeah. Shut up, take my money. And that's what it was. And I think you may have solved my problem, sir. Thank you. I think Mr. Murray is seeing all this money being passed to quarterbacks, and he's thinking, I know I'm worth that. And I think the Cardinals should give me that. I believe that is what I'm worth. Sir, not until you prove it on the field. Stop the cap. Please.
Definitely.
I beg of you, stop the cap. Oh, man. I really wish I could continue, but I have to go. But before I do, let me give a shout out to Sick Dicky. He says Murray, talking about the Nuggets, Jamal Murray, needs to focus on rehab. A torn ACL is needs to come back from. You're right about that. MPJ should reevaluate his career, considering that this was his third back surgery. That's a really good point, Sick.
Yes, sir.
That's a really good point. And I love this one too, Sick. On a different note, Cole, let's give a shout out to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah, let's do that.
Happy birthday, Kareem.
Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday, Cap. You're one of my favorite players of all time. You're definitely one of the greatest players ever. And I miss having a player like him on the court now. Full of fight, full of passion, full of intelligence, full of grace. Love him. Love him.
One of the most intelligent basketball players out there, man, ever.
Yes.
Ever.
Yeah. And I will do a personal dedication. This show is dedicated to my cousin, Casey. This would be his 48th birthday today. And I say would be because unfortunately 1 month ago to the day, he passed away in a car accident. And my hearts and my prayers are with him, his siblings, his mother, and the rest of his family. And he was one of those guys. He loved Georgia, the Bulldogs. Loved the Tar Heels when it came to basketball, and he was a huge Falcons fan. So, dedicating today's show to you, Casey. Love you, bro. You were one great human being, and we miss you already. The world is not going to be the same, and actually, the world sort of sucks without you, man. Thank you, Sick. Wise, is there anything that you have for the people before we let you go?
Oh, man.
Before we get out of here, I should say.
Thank y'all for having me, and thank y'all for the support, man. Appreciate it. And the guys in the chats, man, you guys have really made me feel comfortable and really made me feel a part of the team, and I greatly appreciate you guys, man. This has been awesome.
Yeah. Well, you definitely are part of the team, man. It is seamless having you here, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
And where can people find you?
Oh, man, you can find me on all major platforms: Apple, Google, Spotify. You can find Stuck in My Mind podcast on YouTube. And yeah, you go to www.stuckinmymind2020.com. Check out the production company at www.realwiseproductions.com. And also you can check out Snowman in the Morning on Real Wise Radio at www.realwiseradio.com.
That's right. We are on his radio station. All right. Well, for a recovering and getting stronger than ever, Brian Snow. I am Cole Johnson of Cole Sports. And here to say goodbye to you. And remember, we want you to take care. God bless. Always make your next move your best move. And if your dreams don't scare you, then they're just simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. I know that's what Wise is doing. That's what Brian has already done and is doing. That's what I'm doing. I know that's what the people in the chat are doing. We hope you're doing the same as well. And we love you. We appreciate you. And for all of us here at all of us here at Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, I'm going to get that right one of these days. So I'm Cole Johnson. Here to say so long. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for tuning in to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts.